Hey, welcome to another edition of Motorhead Garage. And folks, this is a special edition because we're taking you to the 2013 SEMA show. Now, right here is my ticket to the show, but you may not have one, but you've got one with us because we're going to take you to the show this year. Now, you may wonder where Sam is. Well, he's back at the garage installing some new equipment, so he'll be around later on, but I won the bet, so I get to come to the show, and I'm taking you with me, so stick around. Well, I'll tell you what, when you're here at the SEMA show, you'll run across all kind of interesting products that'll do amazing things. And one of them we found right here is lizard skin. We got Mark's Henry. Mark's, tell us a little bit about what you got here.
Well, this is our lizard skin ceramic insulation. And if you think how heat enters the car from the engine, the transmission, the exhaust, even heat from the sun, we have a water-based product that's a spray-in application. We spray in two 20 mil coats. At 300 degrees here, you can see how we've created a thermal barrier that radiates that heat out, so this ice is allowed to sit there like it is. It can go on the firewall, floor pan, up in the ceiling, trunk. Being spray-on, you can go in the door skins and the rear quarters. You can completely encapsulate the interior. You get on a nice, hot 95-degree day, you're 30 degrees cooler inside the car with your lizard skin ceramic insulation.
Now, how easy is it to install?
It's a spray-in application. It's water-based, so there's no toxins, no VOCs. It has a Class A fire rating, and it's environmentally friendly, cleans up with soap and water.
Now, does it do any sound deadening?
Well, this one doesn't, but I do have a lizard skin sound dampening product called Sound Control. If you think about how noise enters the vehicle, vibrations, the engine noises, the tinny sheet metal noises you get, well, we have our sound dampening one.
Like that?
Like that. Makes it extremely loud, and then we use it 2 coats to deaden that sound so that you have a nice, quiet ride.
And again, this is all do-it-yourself stuff, right?
All do-it-yourself. Here's our application gun. It comes with the spray gun and the cup. We have a wet mill gauge so you can judge those 20 mil coats. We have a stirring paddle. It is single part, so it comes in 1 gallon and 2 gallon containers. We also have a secondary nozzle 90 degrees, so you can spray up in the door skins and the quarter panels.
If you want to find out a lot more about it, all you have to do is go to lizardskin.com and you get all the information you want. You know, Holley is one of the grand old names here in the performance business. In fact, I think they've been in business for something like 110 years. And they've been well known for carburetors. And now they're really into the fuel injection mode. Now, Shane, tell us a little bit about your newest unit.
This is our Terminator EFI, Dave. This is basically a carburetor replacement unit for guys who are wanting to convert their carburetor vehicles to fuel injection. It's a completely self-learning unit. Basically, you can take your carburetor off, plug this in. It has a very minimal amount of connectors, easy to install, hook a fuel line in and a return line out, and you're ready to go.
And it has the wiring harness and everything for it as well.
It does. It's a complete kit. It comes totally ready to run. We have a wiring harness, an ECU that's easy to mount, and just a really simple deal that works really good.
Okay, and that's all self-tuning as well. And if you get in trouble with that, all you have to do is give you guys a call, right?
You do. We have tech service available to handle any problem you might have.
Okay, Shane, tell us what you got right here. Now, this is pretty nice looking stuff.
Yeah, what we're seeing, Dave, is that the LS engine swap market is really exploding. Holley is really becoming well-known quickly in the LS engine swap market with the stuff we make in our Hooker brand and our Holley brand, like our oil pans and stuff. But our newest product is this accessory drive kit that we have for the LS motors. Things like the air conditioner, compressor mounts, power steering mounts, alternator mounts. And what we wanted to do is create a cost-effective, good-looking, OEM-style product that was affordable to the guy who was, whether he's buying a junkyard swap motor or a crate motor from GM.
Well, there you have it, folks. Looks like Holley's got you covered in all directions here. You know, here at the SEMA show, you can find all kind of products are designed to solve all kind of problems. Now, if you've got an old style truck, say like a 1948 or a 54, you can get a replacement radiator for that here. But if you want to upgrade that radiator to a cross flow, we got them right here.
Well, we had a lot of guys coming to us where they've upgraded the engine. They might have added a blower. They've got a lot of chrome, a lot of shiny pieces. When you open the hood, you see this big top tank in there. It's hard to see the engine, and so we took it apart, took some of the bracketry out of the core support. We used the original core support. The only thing we had to do was remove part of it, drill new holes, and then design a crossflow that fits in its place. Now, it's nice and low. It conforms to the top of the core support. It can actually reach over and work on the car, work on the engine, change the water pump without pulling the radiator out. Now everything's accessible. That idea worked so good that we went ahead and did it with the Chevy pickup. The Chevy turned out to be easier. We make this radiator with a top plate and a bottom plate. A customer can bolt this in 20 minutes. We do the same thing for performance restoration. We have a little tricks that we do for those guys too who want the look of the original radiator. But this is really what guys with lower motors and high horsepower go into.
I'll tell you what, it's a nice fit on there, and if you notice, he does have the original core support here, so it does bolt in there. You want a lot more information about this, all you have to do is go to his website.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by Low Car Performance Products, is being brought to you by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. Flowmaster, the exhaust technology company. OPG, the world's largest source for GM A-body parts and accessories. Low Car, quality plain and simple. And by US Radiator, the difference is the tooling.
The finest in exhaust systems. Borla is the name that comes to mind. And David Borla, you have got some of the most beautiful systems I've ever seen. It's too bad they have to be hidden underneath the car, but what do you have here for this year?
Well, we're displaying our diffusers that we're offering here. We have one for an M5. These diffusers add downforce, which help you handle through the turns and help keep the wheels on the ground. And they also look really cool, and kind of got the idea from F1. I'm sure you're familiar with the diffusers that they use in F1. They add quite a bit of downforce. So this is something we're really excited about.
And of course, you've got these beautiful exhaust systems to go with it. They bolt right onto the exhaust system, right?
They sure do. We have mounting hardware, and they fit directly to our exhaust systems.
Okay, now this one you have right over here, what's this system for?
This is for the latest Porsche Cayman. Our systems have been really well received by the Cayman community, so we're excited to be releasing this system.
And the one down here?
This is for the new Porsche 991, and as you can see, it has these vacuum actuated valves on it. This system is a dual stage exhaust. Actually comes from the factory with a button inside the cabin, and we've integrated that same feature into our aftermarket exhaust system.
But the big news is the new Corvette. This is the 2014, and I can see right here you already have your diffuser and exhaust system on this.
We sure do. We got our diffuser. We have some really cool, unique exhaust tips that we're offering. We're going to be offering 3 different sound levels: Touring, S-Type, and Attack. We'll have 2 different X-pipes, one with a high flow cat in it, one without a high flow cat in it, as well as long tube headers. And as you can see, we've also incorporated the electronic valves into our exhaust systems, both for NPP and for AFM. So for those of you looking to keep that functionality, we're going to keep that with the valves in our systems as well.
Well, there you have it, folks. And talk about automotive jewelry, it's just too bad it has to be underneath the car. You know, one of the big problems with a cooling system is that over time, the coolant breaks down, and then you start getting rust in your cooling system. And when that happens, that can cost a lot of money if you let it go. Well, we found a product here that helps eliminate that problem.
Yes, VR12 is a maintenance program for your cooling system. What we did with this product is the weekly neglected antifreeze that we have in our cars, when they tell you to flush it, you just go out there and flush it. You don't know why, you just do it. The reason you're flushing it is because your ag packs, your chemicals, your vitamins have gone bad. VR12 replenishes that. VR12 makes the car work at peak performance because it makes that coolant antifreeze original, the way it was when it came in originally in the car.
And that's what happens with antifreeze. The additive package in it breaks down.
That's correct.
And then when that happens, then you're in trouble. And so this helps replace that and does a lot of other things as well, doesn't it?
That it does. Among many of the things that it does, obviously protects every inch of your cooling system, from rubber gaskets to metals, aluminum, and all the new alloys coming out in new engines. Besides that, it's an easy-to-use product. 1, 2, 3. You open it up, open your plastic reservoir, put 16 ounces of the product in, and you're done. Let it do its work.
Now, how long will it last?
It'll last you 30,000 miles.
So there you have it, folks. That's how you can keep your coolant system clean, keep it fresh, and replace it with BR12.
Yes. One last thing can I do? But real quickly, I want to take the word SEMA. It's the Great Plateau 2013 SEMA, and I want to welcome Rush Yates into what we've been doing. Very well renowned with the performance chemicals. They're out in racing. We're very proud to be partnering up with them.
And you got a good partner there too. All right, well, we are here at the ARP booth with Chris Raschke, and Chris, you've got, you know, a unique car here. This is a Bonneville car. How does that tie in with your fasteners?
Well, you know that the salt is a very corrosive environment, and Johnson Hot Rods has used our high-strength stainless fasteners to keep them from corroding on this race car.
So you use them all on the engine and other parts as well?
Throughout the engine, the chassis, all over this car is high-strength ARP stainless. You have the steering rack, the suspension components, everything's tied together with ARP on this car.
Even though it's all clean inside, I suspect after it's been on the salt for a while, they get a little bit built up. Doesn't take long for a standard nut or bolt to start rusted, does it?
No, you would immediately see corrosion on any of the standard commercial grade or even our black oxide fastener. It will rust.
All right, Chris, now I noticed you got this motorcycle engine here. This is a Moto Guzzi, but this is a cool looking piece here, but you've got fasteners for that.
Yes, once again, in our accessory line of stainless fasteners, you can dress out any of your motorcycles or hot rods or whatever just based on the items that are in our catalog in bulk or in 5-packs.
But you not only have them for this, but you got for all kind of motorcycles?
Yes, we have a variety of fasteners for Suzuki, Harley Davidson, and some snowmobile engines.
And one other thing too, when you're getting fasteners for your motorcycles or for your car, either one thing you want to do is look on the top of that fastener. Why?
It's stamped ARP, and that makes sure you know that fastener is made in-house, family-owned and operated in the USA.
You know, one of my favorite stops when I come to SEMA is a stop by Custom Auto Sound to find out what's the latest in classic car audio. And we got Carl Sprague here with probably the newest radio I've ever seen. This is really cool. Tell me just a little bit about it, Carl.
Well, one of the major features of it is original looking, made to replicate the original 50s and 60s and some of the 70s cars. Be available for 4 or 5 different vehicles right off the bat in a few months. Flip this bar and you get the digital readout. It's not lit up now, but it's really original look, and that's what the customers are after.
Now that is cool stuff there. I'd like to learn a lot more about that.
Why don't you drop by in our shop in Fullerton on your way back home?
That sounds like a plan to me. We'll see you there when we come back. Carl, this is a beautiful car here. Man, you don't see many of these around anymore, do you?
Not really, no.
Hey folks, welcome back. We've made the leap from SEMA all the way back here to Fullerton, California at Custom Auto Sound. And Carl, you know, SEMA is made up of a lot of manufacturers that some guy run into a problem, figured out a way to solve it and created a product out of it, and that's what you have here, and that's exactly what you started out with too. Tell me about the Corvette and Custom Auto Sound.
Well, the Corvette was purchased in 1976 and restored. It's original Fuelie, 63, and I was into music, and I decided that I'd like to have a cassette in the car, and the dashboard was configured so that you couldn't fit one that you could buy at Best Buy or anywhere into the car. So I just, with a friend, developed a way to convert the radios by putting the controls where the original Corvette controls were and configuring it so it would fit in there without cutting the dash. Nobody likes to cut their dashes on the...
Especially a car like that.
Yeah, yeah. So I found a need there like that and decided to go with it, and started marketing them and converting them, and just started with this 1-year group and then ended up with 300 different conversions.
And this radio right here, it'll fit right in. It looks just like old school, but it's far from it, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. It has all the conveniences and different features like USB, Bluetooth option, and things like that.
Anything you want, all the new stuff, right?
You bet.
Well, from this radio, you showed us that slider there at the SEMA show. I'd like to see more about that.
Well, I'll introduce you to Mike here, and he'll talk to you about it.
Okay, let's go find him. Are you Mike Doherty?
Yes.
Dave Bowman.
Hi, Dave.
Carl said I might find you over here.
Yeah.
All right. You know, folks, we were looking at this slider radio. That looks like that's it.
Yeah, this is the new radio that we're coming out with.
Tell me all about it. I mean, that is an incredible piece. We saw it there at the show, you know, kind of teased us a little bit with it. I'd like to know more about it.
The nice thing with it looks like an old AM radio.
Yeah.
When you do the slider switch, it turns to a modern digital radio.
That is cool.
It's got all the features that any of the new modern radios have. It's got an iPod dock, a USB flash drive. It's got subwoofer line out. It's got 4-channel line out, aux in, just about any feature that you could need. It also do a separate CD changer or CD player.
Wow. So, man, you can really update the sound system in your antique car or classic car and still have that look. That is really cool. Now, I've noticed here you're playing around with the colors on it. You can change the colors on this.
Yeah, there's 7 different colors for the LCD background. So you can kind of match whatever your current gauges have on them. And it's got a dimmer on it.
Yeah.
So you can get a pretty good match of the rest of your dash. So the radio will not look out of place in the car at all. It looks like an original.
So you can customize that, so whatever you want on that thing. You know, if you take, let's say, a modern new radio now and put it in an older car, it's okay, but it really stands out. This just blends right in, so it looks natural.
That's the whole idea of what we do.
That's what I like about it. How many different models do you make of these things?
We have 400 different applications.
That's impressive. And you know, the thing that's also impressive, as I noticed, is when you get one of these radios, a lot of times you got to be cutting and fitting and all this type of thing. These just bolt right in. Why is that?
They fit in just like the original radio did. That's kind of what we do here. We set it up for the customer, so it just bolts right into the dash, just like the original. In fact, if you took one of our radios out, you could put the original back in. You would never know it had a modern radio in it.
Now that is cool stuff. Well, you know, you guys spend a lot of time fitting these things. You know, once you get them in, you do a lot of QC on it, then you fit all this stuff together to make sure it all works. Okay, I'd like to see that.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Sure.
All right, folks, we're going to show you what that's all about right after the break, so stick around.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by Low Car Performance Products, is being brought to you by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. Holley, the undisputed leader in fuel systems for over 100 years. Fat Man Fabrication, the hot rod innovator. And by VR12, ultimate cooling system protection.
Well, Mike, you got a lot of stuff going on here. Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, Mike, what is this young lady doing here? I know you guys custom fit everything when it comes in. Is that what she's doing here?
Yes, it is. She's making these for a T-Bird right now.
Wow.
So she's installing a custom bezel on it that'll fit the original dash, which is made to come from behind the dash and fill the whole opening, and also putting a T-Bird logo on it.
Okay, yeah, I see. You got T-Bird logos, you got Chevrolet logos here.
Yes, we do. Ford logos. We're licensed to put all these logos on the car. It helps the radio kind of fit in with the rest of the car. It looks like it belongs.
Looks like
there.
OE then.
Right.
And you know, so you say a lot of guys make a mistake by putting this whole thing out front rather than behind where it's supposed to go.
Yeah, this is not a faceplate. This is a bezel that goes from behind and fits the original opening in the dash. So when you get our radios, there's no adjusting anything. You just put this up in the dash, tighten the 2 nuts, put a back strap on, you're done.
Good, good. What's this guy doing over here?
This technician is making 67 to 73 Mustang
Mustangs,
radios.
yeah.
Yep. Actually, these radios, this is an actual piece of a Mustang dash. So he fits them in there to make sure that it's going to fit properly in your car when you buy one of these radios.
Now you know why they all fit the way they do. He's got a bunch of them there. Man, I wish I had one of those in my 67 Mustang when I had it. All right, you know what, though? These radios have the capability of putting out some terrific sounds, but it's only as good as the speakers. Now, show me all about the speakers.
Oh, they're right this way.
Okay, so what do we have here, Mike? Oh, I see.
Okay, we make these different plates to fit the original location up in the dash.
Oh, yeah, they had those 2 speakers up there. And
yeah, well, they used to have 1, but now all of our radios are stereo, so you need 2 speakers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we make these speakers now that you can hook a modern radio to.
I see here on your wall, you got Buku speakers up here. These are all OE speakers that you use for patterns, right?
Right. And then over here, we make kick panels for a lot of cars. So you can replace your factory kick panel with these, gives you great sound, no permanent modification to the car at all. You can paint or upholster these panels if you want. Fresh air vents still will work in the car.
Now, whose idea was that?
Oh, this vent?
Yes.
This vent was my idea.
I knew it.
Yeah.
It looked like your idea to come up with something simple that everybody is trying to handle there. So that's good. So you got all kind of kick panels for all these different vehicles as well. So it works out really nice. Well, there you have it, folks. Now you see what you have to have for the speakers. You got it covered from speakers, radios, but probably the most important part of any of this is the quality control. I want to see how you do that.
Okay, I'll show you. It's right
over here. All right. Okay, so Mike, this is the QC area or quality control, right?
Yes, it is. See, even though the technicians that modify the radios, they check it, we also check it a second time here before we ship them out.
It's not a bad idea to have a second set of eyeballs looking at everything before it goes out, right? So they run through all the systems and all that.
Right.
Then check it out.
Checks everything out on it, fills out a little sheet showing that all the functions have been checked.
So let me ask you this. I buy a radio, I get it, and it doesn't work right, or I'm having problems with it. More likely, it's my fault, but anyway, if it's not, what do you do?
Well, just give us a call, and we have technicians on the phone that usually walk you through whatever the problem is. I mean, chances are the radio does work because it's been double checked before we ship it. A lot of times it's a real simple speaker wiring or a power problem.
All right, well, once they get QC'd, out the door to a happy customer. Let's see where you do the shipping, okay?
Okay.
Man, you got quite an inventory here, Mike.
Yeah, here's all the finished products ready to be shipped out.
All ready to go to a happy customer somewhere. What do you got there?
58 to 67 Volkswagen.
Wow.
That's considered a classic, and we have the radios for all of the classic VWs.
You do.
It's finished and ready to go.
That'll make somebody very happy, I'm telling you. That'll make that Volkswagen sound really good.
Yeah.
Carl, Mike, I want to thank you both for allowing us to come in here to your place and spend a little bit of time, see how you do everything. Pretty darn impressive, and you got some great product.
Well, it's been our pleasure to show you, and I appreciate the visit.
Well, thank you very much. Well, folks, we've run out of time. We'll see you again next time here at Motorhead Garage. Do you have one for a 58 Edsel?
We can make one.